Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man Mace right here in the Basement. Thanks so much for joining me for a couple minutes tonight. Hey, I was on the phone earlier, and I got buzzed in. My big brother Jermaine Mason gave me a call. I had to take the call. Me and him chatted up for a little bit, and I think he's on to something. And when by on to something, I mean that he's got to a place in his life now where a lot of what he does and what he talks about is kind of philosophical. He hasn't always been that guy. But he's always served as somebody who I could count on to kind of talk to, kind of bounce different ideas off of. You know, so as we've grown older, I've been able to do that stuff more and more. What I asked him to do is say, hey, look, man, if we're going to have a conversation and you feel like that this is going to be something that will be beneficial to not only me, but to a lot of people, why don't we just tell everybody about it? Okay, so I asked him to do that. I reached out to him. I've already sent him the invite. He's waiting. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. We're going to talk to him a little bit about God-bearded men. God-bearded man. Okay, God-bearded man. And when he first said it to me, I wasn't really sure what it was. And he wanted to bounce. I said, yo, man, you just going to have to tell me what it is, bro. So anyway, let's go and bring him in and let's chat it up a little bit. Yo, Rock, you there, man?
Hey, I'm right here, brother. What's up, man?
There he is, then the San Marcos, Texas, man. Hooking and jabbing. This is the owner, operator, CEO, COO, big man on the block of Blade Barbershop. He's also a very, 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 very dear friend of mine, a confidant, somebody who I can always count on to be there to bounce ideas off of. But again, I asked him to talk to him a little bit tonight about what his ideas were. But I wanted to know what it was straight from him. Like, tell me more about it. You know, he said it, and at first I was like, okay, you know what I mean? That's sound like you got an idea, man. You know, but tell me more about it. So when he mentioned it, he brought it up. He said, God-bearded man, you know, and without stealing your thunder, telling people how you came up with it or where it came from and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about, man, God-bearded man. What is that?
So, first of all, man, thank you for taking the time to bring me onto your show, man. I'm real proud of everything that you're doing, man, the moves that you're making in life. God-bearded man, in itself, you fit that mold, okay? Because simply put, God-bearded man is a destination. It's not a movement. It's a destination. It's where we're trying to get to. You know, throughout my life, man, I'm 40 years old now, and I think I just started figuring out life probably 3 years ago. You know, and it's a process. Becoming a God-bearded man just simply means, you know, you transition from your faith, which is the God portion. Your experience is what makes you who you are. And the man part is through your experiences, or the growth part, rather. Faith, experience, and growth. Those are the three tenets that we talk about when we talk about a God-bearded man. You know, some people will see it and think it's a religious movement. But it's much deeper than that, you know, and I don't try to get too deep on things. And most people initially, when they hear it, they may not even understand what it means. It's because they haven't reached that destination yet. They're still on the journey. They may be in phase one, which is the faith portion. They may be going through tests of faith, right, where they're trying to establish a relationship with God, their own walk, not a walk that I have to approve of, or you have to approve of, but it's their own walk. You know, their experiences, that's just a constant thing. We all have different experiences. But our experiences is what allows us to grow. Through my life, man, 20 years in the Army and then retiring and then now working for Amazon and trying to open up a business. Something no one in our family, well, our dad, he started his own business back in the day, but that was only giving us a taste. We weren't really taught. So for us, me, you, and my brother Mike, we are breaking that cycle. The growth part for me, Mark, has been my transition from my faith. We grew up in the church, but I got away from it for a long time, man. But God has a funny way of bringing you right back, you know. My experiences, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of pleasant experiences. And the maturity that I have achieved because of those experiences has allowed me to grow into what I believe is a man. You know, we all have different definitions of what a man may be. Yours and mine may be similar, but they won't be the same. So with the God-bearded men, I feel like it's something that men can really relate to. It's not necessarily the physical beard, although I have one. It's just the journey itself. And when you have reached a point in your life that you realize that these three tenets are what make you who you are, then you have arrived, and then you'll get the aha moment like we talked about earlier. You know, it's no different than me trying to explain what it's like to be a drug addict if I never experienced it before. I don't know what it's like, and I can't relate to somebody that I've never experienced the same type of things, you know? So to sum it up, man, I'm launching this thing, man, because I want people to understand that every day you're trying to achieve something. And I've just come to a point in my life where I realize what it is that I'm trying to do. And this is the process I've chosen.
Okay. It kind of makes sense, man. And you know, I'm kind of glad that you said that, you know, a beard is not required, you know, because I got mine trimmed down a little bit. So, I mean, that would kind of make me like a little man. And, you know, I don't know how I feel about that, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, here's what I'm getting, man. You know, God-bearded man is a destination in terms of a mentality, a point in your life, a maturity level where you can see yourself, and now you have enough data to be able to look back and have be able to look back and see what you've done. But I personally think that there's a certain amount of responsibility associated with being able to do that. You can't simply look back and see that, you know what, I realize that, you know, my faith is being tested right now, and I got to go through some of these experiences up and down, and then the growth part of it, and then not have some type of responsibility to share that experience with other people so that will help them through their experiences for them to grow. You know, so I think that the representation, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that if I was going to be, you know, wearing a shirt like you're wearing right now, let me take this banner down so people can see it. You know, if I was wearing a shirt like that, then somebody at some point in time is going to ask me, what is it? You know, what does it mean? And I have to be able to explain it. And I think the easiest way, based on what you've told me, for me to explain it, it's about being at a position in your life where you have enough qualified data and experience to be able to share some information with somebody that will make them be a better them. It's okay if they're not just like you. You know, their faith may be different. The color of their beard may be different. Their walk with God may be different. Their experiences are certainly going to be different. But at the end of the day, what they see is that self-actualization moment when they become a man, and now they look back and say, okay, now that I'm a man, what is my responsibility? Is to continue to share that information, continue to pass that stuff, to continue to reach back and grab and pull people forward so that they continue to have those type of experiences and continue that cycle and break some of the ridiculous cycles they currently have, like generational poverty, like generational stupidity. You know, people don't really think that's a real word, but I think generational stupidity really does exist.
Right.
So am I on track with where we are with God-bearded man?
Hey, so the thing about it, man, is when I introduce this, it is about your unique path, right? Like, we all share these things in common, regardless of the level. It's not for me to judge where you are in your journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you're a man, it's because you have reached a level of maturity that you understand things like a man. You know, I'm not in a phase where we're going to talk about stuff that we did at 20 and 21. We don't even have those conversations because we now realize that they are beneath where we're trying to go. And that's just part of being a man. Like, you have real direction in your life. I now have real direction, but it's based on my relationship, which is my faith, which everybody's journey is different. And you have no right to judge anybody where they are in that journey. That's your relationship. So it's okay. I'm not saying that a God-bearded men are on the same place. You understand what I'm saying? Because wherever your relationship, that's still yours. But you understand that you have that tenet locked down. Your experience, you have to have experience in order to grow anyway, whichever direction that you're growing. But the man part just really speaks to maturity and your understanding of what it is that you are supposed to be doing, like your real responsibilities, like you were saying. So you're right on track with that, brother.
Cool, man. Sounds good. Hey, look, folks. Hey, Rock, I certainly, I'm super proud of you. I'm hoping that I get a chance to make it down to San Marcos, Texas. Do you call it Marcos or Marcus?
San Marcos.
San Marcos, Texas, down the Blade Barbershop for your grand opening. Is coming up. I'm not going to say the date because I say the date and I might get a date wrong and you get all spazzy on me. So I certainly don't want to do that, but I can't plan to be there until you tell me what the date is. You know, I don't have a jet on standby. You know, I ain't
yes, sir. You don't?
Yet, not yet, but I'm working on it.
My man.
So let me know when that is. I'd like to be a part of it. I'd like to go there and shoot some pictures, some video, or whatever it may be. That would be a really good experience for me. I know a lot of people that we grew up with have never seen me and you have a conversation like this as adults, but we have them all the time. Believe it or not, friends and family from Raleigh or Wendell or Zebulon, North Carolina, some of the other places that we visited. Me and Jermaine talk like this all the time, and this is what helps us continue to smooth out some of those edges that help us get better. We also include our brother and our sister, Mike and Ree, Londa. So everybody's a part of that. We challenge each other every single chance that we get. So we appreciate all of your support in the past, all your continued support. Flying to Texas from North Carolina is a long way to get a haircut, but it might be worth it. You know what I mean? So
it's gonna be worth it.
You said it'd be worth it? Okay.
It's worth it, bro.
Well, fantastic. Hey, man, thanks for spending a little bit of time in today, man. Hey, this is a short one. This is a quick 10, 12-minute session where we kind of let people know about God Bearded Man. I'm going to put this back up on the screen. People can see the ticker at the bottom. They can find you on IG at Stay Sharp 365 and also on Facebook at James Blade. So IG, Stay Sharp 365. You'll see some of the stuff that he's coming out with, whether it be clothing line, stuff with the barbershop. I'm hoping that we get to expand some of what we're doing now into the barbershop. Some of that barbershop talk. We can talk to some pretty high-level professionals out there. I have just switched up my profession, which means that I'm going to be kind of digging in some of that stuff out there in the Texas area. I have some representatives out there that's probably going to reach out and touch you. So I'm looking forward to that as well, man. Hey, thanks so much for spending some time tonight, man. Love you and your family. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
All right. See you, man. Love you too.